The first thing I need to make sure is that Sarah has been to have a comfort break.
Yes.
Just a few months ago, I had to cut short my speech because the bride wanted to go to the toilet. So, it's great to see so many of you have braved the monsoon. Now, I did actually make a few different words. It's great to see you all on this beautiful sunny day. It's great to see you all on this grey day. Great to see you on this wet day. Monsoon, I think, will be the order of the day. But there's nothing we can do about the good old English weather. But what did he say? What did I say to you last night? When it rains, go out and dance in it. And if anybody's up for it, we'll do a conga around the grounds later. And I will head it. Because I have no shame today. So, the last of my favourite daughters has finally got married. And doesn't she look beautiful? Yes! I didn't say that the last time. So. And obviously, you can see where she's got her beauty from. So, it's amazing that we've actually got here after all these years. Just having to think back on the way up here in the van, you know, when they were both that's my other daughter over there, by the way, that's Lily. When they were both tots, I used to sing songs to them. Spider in the Bath and Portland Bill were favourites. And there was one particular favourite for me. It was a song I actually made for Sarah. A pity I haven't got my guitar with me today, but, you know, I could have performed that for you, but I'm hoping that the band are going to let me do it later on, if I ask them nicely. But I have got the words to the song. It's, Sarah, you're a strange one. Sarah, you're a strange one. You live in a boot, and you wear a bright blue suit. Sarah, you're a strange one. Now, it might not mean a great deal to you, but it meant a lot to me. I don't quite know at the time what I was actually thinking, but it was just, you know, great fun. So, yeah, hopefully the band will let me do that later. It's been some time since I performed it, I have to say. So yeah, that was the years of when everything was so innocent, and you know, time went by, and before too long, Sarah decided to take up the role of hardened drinker. You might not think it looking at her now, but I remember coming home one Christmas, and I'd got this amazing bottle of single malt whiskey that had been bought for me for a Christmas present. You know what I'm saying. And there was about that much left in the bottle. I thought, surely to God I didn't drink all that last night. I went into the living room and Sarah was flat out on the chair, and the remnants of a pint of whiskey and Coke left in the glass. I don't think I saw you for about 3 days, but it was good because it actually taught her a lesson to drink responsibly, children. And yeah, so a few years went by, and she got a job at Alton Towers, and that's where she obviously met Luke here. They both worked in the entertainment section. Actually, Luke was the guy on the stilts doing the juggling in the streets. But he didn't need the stilts, obviously, which was a great bonus. Saving money all around, you see. And the problem was, he wasn't that good at it, and he kept dropping the batons on the floor. So they moved him over to the England football team lookalike squad. And he was quite successful as the Harry Kane lookalike. which was okay, but the fact was he actually one day stubbed his toe while he went to kick the ball, and his toenail went black and fell off. And if you want to look at it, he'll show you, because he's been trying to show it me for years. Don't want to look at me toenail? No, mate. Look at me toenail? No. So, so consequently, they moved him over to the position of Gareth Southgate, which was a lot easier. So it's great that you look like so many people, mate. It's been a bit material for me, actually, today. So, yeah, time went on, and Luke found that he was made redundant from the music shop he worked in. And couldn't really want to see my future son-in-law out of work, so I said, you come and work for me in my music shop in Nottingham, which was great because it meant that I didn't actually have to replace any ladders for about 12 months. Although he did actually break the lock in the door on the first day, which cost me more money to get replaced than a pair of ladders probably would have cost me. It was interesting because he used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to meet me at home, and bless him, he was still asleep. I mean, many years ago there was a toy that was like a bird that dipped the head in the water, and eventually it went in, and then it had come back out. This was actually Luke on the way into work most days. Yeah, Luke. So we got to do this today. Yes. What? Where are we? So he didn't really do the journey into work too good. But, yeah, so, you know, that's what we've been up against all our lives, really. Sarah and Luke, brilliant couple. Back to seriousness, really. You know, I don't think there's any of us that have had a really easy life this last couple of years. Obviously, our family have been through a bit, to say the least. And, you know, we've come out the other side, and I'd like to thank the support from Amanda and Chris, obviously, all these years looking after our Sarah when we've not really had the time to give her all the attention that we wanted to. And, you know, I can honestly say between myself and Will that, you know, we couldn't have wished for a better family to marry into, so I thank you for that. That's all I've got to say. It's very short and very sweet. A few memories. Moving forward, we're going to make a few more memories. I'll be seeing the band later on to see if I can actually get up and perform the song, so stick around. I think we've all got a drink in front of us. I'd like you to raise your glasses to the bride and groom, Sarah and Luke. And that's all I've got to say. I'm going to pass over the mantle. You. Hold on.
Hang on. Sorry, just got to get mine too. Hello. Hang on. Come. Yeah, I've come prepared. Here we go.
Let me get my phone.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Gareth. All right. Getting heckled. We haven't started yet. Hello all. Thanks for all for coming. You having a good time? I'm so used to doing that. Like whenever we have to do gigs together, me and Glenn, just standard kind of band banter. Oh, hang on. Yeah, lose mine. Can you all hear us? Yeah. Right, sod door off. Hello. Oh, sorry. Where are you? Sorry. Forget the microphone. That's what I meant to say.
The mic that's on the side of the mic is for the recording, so
yeah.
There's another one as well.
Oh, is there?
If you want to turn off the main mic, just pretend you're talking to
Oh, okay. Sorry to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I've kind of completely lost my place, so hang on.
Turn that one off.
Turn that one off. Okay.
Still use the mic.
There we go. So I'm going to pretend. There we go. All right. This feels so weird. I'm talking to a microphone. Right. Where to start? Yeah, weird. Thanks to you guys for all coming. Thank you so much. It means so much to us for you guys to be here for our special day. Thanks to you guys at the back for kind of working today with us and, you know, for helping us out throughout the day, for all your hard work. Appreciate it. Woo. Yeah, thanks to Charlie, the wedding planner, for all the hard work. Thanks to Laura, walking in front of us right now. Say hello to Laura. Give Laura a round of applause. Laura is one of the most amazing photographers that we know. So yeah, honestly, she's great. And Will, wherever there you are, say hello. Hi, Will. He's doing a great job as well. So can't wait to see what the final outcome is for everybody. Thanks to who else we got? My Uncle Mark, where are you? Give us a wave. There he is. Thanks so much for all the work with the printing and all the cards on the table and all your invites so you could all get here for those who received them. Thanks to Uncle Mark. I want to say a massive thank you to my parents, Amanda and Chris. Anyone who knows them knows that they're the best parents that anybody could ever ask for, the most generous people.
Amen to that.
Yeah. They learn from the best, no. There we are. No, but then, seriously, no, thank you so much for all your help with everything today, and not just today, throughout the whole time that we've been together. All your help, support, your love, support. It means the world to us both, so I just want to say thank you to you guys. And turning this way. No, I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys, to my new in-laws, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna start calling Fred Dad because I know how much it winds him up. So thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mum. No, I just want to say a few words about them both. So, Will, you're one of the most caring, most passionate people that I've ever met in my life, and I'm really glad that you've allowed me to come and join your guys' family. It means the world to me. Fred, as you mentioned in his story, I was made redundant. Fred gave me the kind of opportunity to come work with him for a bit to kind of, so it was meant to be a little 3-month thing, ended up being 9 months. And we had a good time, mate. So I just want to say thank you to you for everything. I just want to let you know that Sarah's in good hands. I'll promise I will look after her. I know. He's going to beat me up if I don't. So, no, no, honestly, I just want to say thank you to you guys and all the best. All right, next, I want to say thank you to Glenn, my best man. Now, Glenn's been my best mate for forever, well, for as long as me and Sarah have been together, a while. Honestly, mate, thank you for all your help and support. You did a great job with the rings today, making sure that they were here, making sure that, and for all your help today, mate, you've been great, so thank you to you. Thank you to all my groomsmen. Don't we all look dapper in the suits? Yeah, there we go. Thanks to Dad for helping us with that. But no, I just want to say, like, if you see us on the dance floor later on, and we're there, and we're kind of kicking our legs around, and we're doing, oh, I'll kick the table. We're all doing this kind of thing. It's not because it's like a new rock and roll move. Like, these trousers are made of wool, and they're extremely itchy. So we're just like. Thanks to all the bridesmaids. The bridal party. Thanks for all your. Honestly, I know what it's like to get Sarah ready in time, and I know how difficult that is. So you guys have done an amazing job. Well done. Congratulations. Yeah, and then lastly, my wife. She is the love of my life, the rock that I lean on. Trying to be romantic. No, thank you. Thanks, mate. So a little story time. When oh, don't look too scared.
Just say it.
Yeah, just say it. So a little story time. When mine and Sarah's first date, I had no idea that it was a date. I thought that Charlie and Liam were going to kind of turn up. I was quite surprised when it was just us two. So we went to the cinema together, watched the film, and about halfway through, I could feel her head kind of just leaning on me. I was like, oh, this is going quite well. Like she's feeling quite comfortable around me. I'm like, no, she's not taking her head off. She's still going. Like, she's still there. She'd fallen asleep. She fell asleep on the first date, and I could tell that she's kind of fallen asleep now during the speech, so I'm going to wrap things up a little bit. Isn't she amazing?
Yeah.
I love you so much. You look beautiful. You made me cry earlier when you walked down the aisle. I never thought I'd do that, but I honestly did. You mean the world to me. I can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together. And I'm not very good at wrapping stuff up, so I'm just going to say a toast to my bride, to Sarah. and now Glenn's going to tell everyone what a great person I am. Sorry? Oh, sorry. I've got to give you this clip. Hang on.
Gives me change over time.
Hang on, mate.
Hook me up.
There you go, I think. There you go. Mate.
Cool, cheers, mate.
Luke, you've got a mind.
Oh, yeah,
This is weird. I'll second that for sure, so bear with me. Luke had actually started with his speech by stealing my material, so maybe not a great start, but I'll take it, mate. I'll let you off. So, hello, everyone. That's the official beginning, so remember, notes. It's been a long road to get here. We finally made it. The cancellation, 12-month delay, dare I say it, the C word. Not that one, not the one you're all thinking of. More decorum, definitely more decorum. Thanks, Mary. Not even a fuel crisis could stop people getting here today. Sorry, crisis. Yeah, right, yeah, okay. So, 8 years in the making. The 7-year itch has already been scratched. So, from here on out, it's plain sailing, in theory. But when you think about it, the wedding being postponed is probably a bit of a blessing in disguise, really. I mean, if you can spend all day, every day together for 12 months without killing each other, I think that's a pretty good litmus test for a successful marriage, right? It's a good starting point, at least. So, for those of you that don't know me, my big introduction, well, hey, I'm Glenn. Yeah, hell yeah. Sorry, Mary, HE double hockey sticks. So I've known Luke for about 14 years now, but we didn't meet till we were probably late teens, early 20s. So, we've known each other for a while, though, early 20s, give or take. We weren't next door neighbors. We didn't go to school together. We didn't share any crazy university stories. But to be honest, I'm starting to question why I'm even the best man. Yeah, sure. But in fact, he actually asked me at the engagement party if I wanted to do it. So I'm almost certain that he was hammered at the time. So definitely hammered. So yeah, it's right place, right time, I think. So we do have at least some things in common, despite what I just said. Similar interests, and we originally bonded over what any self-respecting young men would do. Food, music, and binge drinking. Not much has changed. It was a mutual love of music that initially brought us together. And we were playing in local bands at the time, and we ended up on the same gig at the Queen's Hotel in Basford. Some of you guys might know that place. Lovely place. Exactly. So it might have been Luke's first ever gig, right, with Holy Victory? Yeah. So he was a spring chicken back then, but he was still just as massive as he is now. So we turned up at the venue, if you remember, only to find that the gig hadn't been advertised. The promoter had done a runner. There was about 10 bands on the bill, and we'd all been scheduled for about 20 minutes to play on stage. So for people who are musicians, you probably realize it would be a bit cheesed off by that. Okay, so we're all sat around twiddling our thumbs, and this is when Luke's life changed forever. When he first laid eyes on, and I quote, the real love of his life. His words, not mine. Seriously, sorry, Saz. So he actually told me this story a few months ago. I was sat on the stage. Well, he saw me sat on the stage, beating my snare drum. I'm a drummer, like an angry gorilla. Or something like that. Was, basically, yeah. Or tuning up, as I like to call it. So he decided in that very moment that he wanted absolutely nothing to do with me. Again, he told me that. So how did that work out for you, mate? Yeah.
He's just a crazy guy.
Yeah, he's not been able to get rid of me ever since. So, in the past 5 or 6 years, I've spent numerous evenings at Amanda and Chris's house, boring Luke and his family to tears with fitness facts and my latest life philosophies. I'm actually amazed he put up with me for this long, to tell you the truth. Joking aside, though, I've enjoyed every minute of it. And I'll put this in the simplest way, the most straightforward terms that I'm able to. I can't imagine my life without them. Breathe. So I'm getting to know the Gordons and the Garners. Yeah. Shout out. It's been a pleasure. And as some of the most caring, kind, compassionate, and loving people that I've ever met. And I'm sure that Sarah can echo this when I say that I don't know where or who I'd be without them. So I just wanted to take this moment whilst I blubber just to say thank you to them and everything. I appreciate all the things that you've done for me. So if we give them a round of applause, it gives me a moment. So almost every Sunday, it's been hard in recent times, but we get together for dinner, we tell stories, we share amusing anecdotes, arguably. And, we discuss any pressing issues that have surfaced over, the last week or so. Essentially, we've put the world to rights. We do like to let our hair down, though. We have the alcoholic beverage. Maybe play a good old-fashioned board game. You know how it goes. There's one particular instance, though, that sticks out in my mind. From a couple of years ago, we were actually sat discussing the wedding, and someone decided that it was a good idea to play Mr. and Mrs. So we could really find out how well Luke and Sarah actually know each other. Right, because there's no better way to do that than with an opinion-based quiz game, right? So, obviously the best way. Within minutes, as you can imagine, it was carnage. Luke and Sarah become ultimately competitive, like I've never seen before, to try and attain the elusive 5 out of 5 score. And when I saw them standing back to back, paddles in hand, not in the kinky way. Although I did think about that for a second. Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm done now, guys, so. Yeah. I just knew that they were made for each other. Arguing and bickering was meant to be. I think you were actually discussing who was the most talented at the time. So I can settle that for you now anyway, it's Sarah. Sorry, Luke. I've got to say that though, right? So, we'll go. The blushing bride herself, Sarah. What a fox. Doesn't she look incredible? Let's have a round of applause for the bride. Come on. Show her some love. Yeah. Woo. So, I'm like so with the microphone off. So, I'm sure Sarah will lynch me for this later, and feel free to do so. But I honestly can't remember how or why or when me and Sarah first met. I can't remember it. Now it's me that's the blushing, right? The blushing bride. Now I'm blushing. That's pretty bad, right? But I'm trying to be honest here, maybe a bit too honest, and that's pretty much the story of my life. So, it probably says a lot when the most fond memory that we share together is from a night when neither of us could actually remember what happened at all. But the less we say about the vortex, the better. If you want to know about that, come and find me later. Some people might disagree, but Sarah probably. But I actually think that the previous statement is a bit of a backhanded compliment. I'm trying to dig myself out of a hole, so bear with me. But because one minute it was just Luke, the next minute it was Luke and Saz. The smoothest of smooth transitions, natural and seamless, just like this speech. I just felt like she'd always been there, in a good way. Like she'd always been part of the group, like we'd always been friends, and just like they'd always been a couple. So here we go back into territory that Luke's already been in, but Luke and Sarah met when they were at Alton Towers together, during Scarefest, I think, really romantic. Luke played the long game, as he does, Alan Titchmarsh style, laying the deck in, slowly wearing her down over time. Although, offering her a lift home every day when he lived 30 minutes in the opposite direction wasn't that subtle. So I think Sarah put two and two together, maybe after a little stretch of time. And the colleagues all decided, let's go on a movie night. It'll be fun, they said. But as it turns out, Luke and Sarah were the only people that turned up. It was fate. Either that or Luke paid everybody off. I'm not really sure. Probably the latter, I must admit. But give the lad some credit, He must have done something right. I mean, Sarah slept with him on the first date. No, not like that. Decorum! More decorum from this room. So I'm going to clear this up. I mean, Luke already cleared it up, but I'll just to make sure. Let me explain. So as far as I'm aware, the first date did go a little something like this. So here's the highlights. Buckle up. Buckle up. They go to see a film. Sarah falls asleep. When she wakes up, Luke gives her the old yawn and reach. The kiss. Ooh. Sarah falls asleep again, I think. When she finally regains consciousness, they rounded off the night with a romantic dinner at McDonald's. Each to their own, right? No judgment here. Lots of judgment. If you know me well enough, judge. Judge Dredd. So that brings us today. Brings us to today. If we wind forward 8 years, it's been a chaotic 8 years, I imagine. And the day that Luke and Sarah have decided to commit matrimony and publicly declare the love for one another. Love, I'm going to go there. It's such a strange phenomenon. It can't be seen, it can't be touched or held. It can't even really be explained. I'm going to try though, right? Or truly understood. It's intuitive, it's instinctive. It's a gut feeling that you get. It's a willingness to keep showing up again and again and again. Even when nothing makes sense. Getting choked up by my own speech. Now, obviously, I'm thinking of things that singing Luke and Sarah obviously makes me a bit emotional, but that can be tough, right? Because let's face it, relationships are hard. Like, they're really hard. They're not supposed to be easy. Romantic and platonic. They're incredible too, don't get me wrong, but they're definitely challenging. But maybe that's how it should be. I guess the beauty of a good relationship is that it forces you to grow and adapt and change in ways that you never dreamed were possible, that you couldn't have achieved on your own. And that's what a good partner does. That's what a good friend does. They love you unconditionally and invite you to become a better version of yourself. That being said, maybe I'm not the best person to be handing out relationship advice, given my pretty much zero track record in that area. But I'll try, right? I've got a lot of friends, I think. I've got at least one or two knocking about. Cheers, Mary. You've been steadfast in this speech, I'll give you that. Thank you, appreciate it. But if you guys are looking for stellar role models, examples of love and long-term commitment, relationship gurus, if you will, you don't have to look much further than the members of your own family. Chris and Amanda, Mary and David, Will and Fred, they've all been around the block a few times, right? They know what's what. Seriously though, whatever they're doing must be working. And if you follow in their footsteps, then I'm sure you won't go far wrong. And on that note, I'd like to thank the Gordon and the Thomas families for putting so much time and effort and organization into this spectacular, let's face it, wedding and making it all possible. So let's hear it for those guys, come on. To Sarah's wonderful, beautiful bridesmaids, for supporting her through thick and thin. And I know there's been a lot of thick recently, so, I'm sure she really appreciates that. I also want to thank the incredibly handsome, talented, good-looking team of ushers. Let's go, come on, let's go. We're all getting shy now, getting embarrassed. But I'd like to thank them for helping me organize and execute Luke's stag do, right? It's just a shame that Luke spent most of it with his trousers around his ankles. For reasons that I can't disclose. Sorry, mate. And lastly, I just want to thank all you guys that haven't been mentioned already that are sitting in front of me today. After a crazy and unpredictable 18 months, it means a lot to these guys, it means a lot to me and the families that you've chosen to spend the time with us and travel from wherever you've come from, to spend the day being present with us here. So, yeah, thank you for that. So, without further ado, you know what this means, right? If you raise a glass with me, I'd like to propose a toast to Luke and Sarah, the bride and groom, husband and wife. I love you both dearly. May your life be an adventure that you get to go on, not a trial that you need to endure. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. So we're going to go. Sorry. Segue ignored. We're going to hand over to Sarah now. And Sarah's going to say a few words. Here we go.
You need to give her the clip as well.
She needs to be clipped up.
Yeah. Clip it, sir. Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. Gosh, okay. That's the wrong side. Thank you, everyone. Oh, this is weird, isn't it? And that speech was honestly the most wonderful, best man speech I've ever heard. So big hands and loads for that. You soppy gits. So I know that you'll all be wanting to tuck into your food real soon, so I promise I'll be quick. I just wanted to start as me mean to go on in our married life together. And that's me getting the last word. I just want to reiterate what everyone else has said, how much it means to my husband and I, very weird, that you're all here with us today. Most of us have been in pyjamas for the past 18 months, so I'm glad that we could all give everyone a reason to get tarted up. Speaking of tarts, my bridesmaids. Very harsh, very, very harsh. No, but you all look absolutely incredible. Thank you for all playing your own parts in today and having my back during 3 years of mental breakdowns, existential crises, all the rest of it. You know what I'm like. I love you all dearly. Glyn, thanks for being like a brother to Luke and for not losing the rings today. And for that amazing speech, and I can add that now that you've done it. My in-laws, Manda and Chris. Now, every chick flick comedy that I've ever watched teaches us that in-laws are terrifying. They're like a scary final boss in a video game. And I can honestly say, hand on heart, that this absolutely isn't the case with these two. In fact, everyone in this room would probably agree that I have the most kindest, loving in-laws ever. So thank you for everything that you've done, helped put into today, and letting me marry your son and loving me like the daughter-in-law from the start. Mum and Dad, Mama T, as she's affectionately called by pretty much everyone here. I think my dad mentioned, but as a family, for the past year, we appear to have only known stress, anguish, loss. And you're both the most strong and supportive people in this room for me. Thank you for teaching me to be the best version of me, for me, and supporting me to be as strong as you guys. Oh, and I can actually say this bit now that he's done it, so thank you, Dad, for not being too harsh in your speech to Luke. Speaking of which, I would just like to say a couple of words about my new husbands. Don't worry. It's great. Now, there's so much to say after almost 8.5 years together, but there's a phrase that comes to my mind, and it's about time. Now, hear me out. It's not about doing the dishes or taking the bin out. So the first time I actually heard this phrase was back in 2013 when Luke and I were working at Towers together, as has already been mentioned. Our friends and colleagues knew that we'd end up together before we did. And after tiptoeing around the subject, Luke telling me that he'd go and get a half sleeve done, but never did to this day, we actually attended a house party for a friend's birthday, wearing Charlie Clark, front and centre. Big round of applause to Charlie for a speech earlier on. Where Miss Clark, front and centre, after many shots and God knows what else, staggered out of the house and told Luke and I, when we were having a serious conversation, hang on, got to get the feeling and the tone right. You guys should just get together or something. Was that accurate? Yeah. Guilty. Great. And then that was official. So another key time for this phrase was September 2018 when Luke proposed against the gorgeous backdrop of a theme park in Germany called Phantasialand, which is in Germany. In fact, all of the tables here today represent different rides and attractions there. We had a lovely proposal in a gorgeous location overlooking the river on a glorious September sunny afternoon. Even though, when asked where he popped the question to his friends and family, he referred to it as a lay-by. But it was worth the wait and it was magical. The third time this phrase meant a great deal was actually this morning when I was getting in my dress, getting all emotional. As you guys all know, we were meant to have this day last year, but now thanks to the new worst C word, we had to wait and put our lives on hold. We both really struggled with this, but the perspective made us so lucky considering how many loved ones were taken from people over the past 18 months. And quite frankly, this man is worth the wait. Luke, you've seen me through my darkest days and have been the direct cause of some of my brightest. Thank you for being my best friends and for having to reverse limbo every time you give me a kiss. I can't wait to go through life together as husband and wife. And before I get too emotional and before everyone's stomachs start to rumble over the sound of my voice, I just want to finish with a toast and flip the phrase, "It's about time," on its head. at a time where we had to postpone the wedding, and one phrase gave me really great comfort and is currently on our blackboard in the kitchen. And that phrase is, with love and patience, nothing is impossible. So, to love and patience. Love and patience. Thank you.